So my name is Davis Merrey. I'm the owner of TeamLogic IT. We're what is called a managed services provider. So we support small businesses throughout central Oklahoma with their IT needs. And the story I'm going to tell you today is about a lady named Norma. And Norma is sitting right back there between my wife Barbara and my daughter Natalie. All three of them work in our company. And I've got notes here, otherwise I wouldn't be able to stick to the story. Anyway, so this is a story about Norma and her journey from deep despair to outright joy and those who helped get her there, some of whom are in this room. Norma works in our IT company on our service desk. So she handles incoming calls and tickets from people who are having computer problems at their work. And I'm sure Norma would tell you that one of the first things she notices when she picks up the phone is stress in their voice. Those of you who use computers at your work know what it's like when the computer won't do what you want it to do, and you're not very happy. But that's her job, is to calm people down and help them get back to work productively. She's been with us now for almost 2 years, and in that time she received her GED, attained an important IT certification, is training to be a cybersecurity engineer, which is her dream job, has company paid health insurance and a matching savings plan, has received a couple of raises, had her first vacation as a working mother, and is enjoying time with her 2 teenagers. She's a vital part of our company, and our employees and our customers love working with her. So life is good for Norma, but that hasn't always been the case. You see, several years ago, Norma made some bad decisions and some bad choices. And she got kind of sideways with the law and was facing perhaps losing contact with her children. Fortunately, she was referred to Remerge. And I don't know if any of you know what Remerge does, but they're a pretrial diversion program that serves mothers of minor children who are facing nonviolent felony charges. So the idea is to move people away from incarceration into the workforce. And COVID gets involved in this process. Shortly after she got involved in Remerge, she joined their IT coding program and got a job at a part-time retailer. So she had taken her first step toward a second chance. A few months later, Remerge contacted me to talk about us becoming their IT service provider. And in the process of the interview with us, I was introduced to some ladies who were in the coding program, one of whom I'm sure was Norma at the time. And I found this very intriguing, that they were training these women to become IT people, what we do. And so I investigated a little bit further and talked to Jenna Morey, who was the executive director of Remerge, and said, how can I get involved? And I said, whether you hire us or not, I want to get involved in this. Well, they did hire us eventually, and that's been wonderful. But she told me, just tell me when you're ready. So I did. A few months later, we got the opportunity to bring Norma into our company. And the success has been wonderful for us and for Norma and for our customers and for COVID and Remerged and everybody involved. And by the way, I've been on the board of a number of organizations through my long journey in life. And one of the things I always was frustrated about is, are we doing any good? Are we seeing any results? Well, there she is. So Norma started working with us, as I said, about a couple of years ago. To get to my notes here. And as I say, it's been a success. Jesus told us to love our neighbor. Matthew 22:37 through 39. So what did he mean by that? What kind of love is he speaking of? Well, the Apostle Paul offered his answer in 1 Corinthians 13. I always have trouble with this. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude, not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. It keeps no record of wrongs. So when Jesus said neighbor, what did he mean? I think he meant everyone is our neighbor. And that includes the guy who cut me off in traffic this morning, and that really happened, didn't it? The rude ticket agent at the airport, or rude acting, maybe she's not rude, but she's rude acting. But especially the Normas of this world, they're our neighbors. 2 books, including one of which is the Bible, have given me kind of a roadmap for my life. When I was in graduate school many years ago, I took a course called Business, Society, and the Individual. And there's a book about that thick that goes with that course. And the course is about how do we manage our relationships between business, society, and the individual. And sometimes in the business world there are conflicts. You have a decision to make and it affects another business, or it affects an individual, or it affects society in general. How do you make that decision? And this book has a lot of case studies in it about how those kinds of decisions can be made. And I've always used this as kind of a guide whenever I'm faced with a decision that I know is going to affect any of those 3. The decision to hire Norma and give her a second chance wasn't an easy one. We were taking some risk, that's for sure, and Norma was taking some risk. Everybody involved, my employees, had to train her, because even though she had gotten some training at Remerge, she was going to be faced with a different problem every time she picked up that phone. The businesses we support are very, very different. Any industry you can think of, we support. And some have 5 employees, some have 150 employees. And so the problems that come Norma's way are very, very different and very unique. So it took some time to get her trained in how to handle those things. And it took some sacrifice on the part of our other employees to do that. But the payback for me is those employees saw what can happen when you love the way that Jesus taught us to love. Second chances aren't often available to people. So if you have the opportunity to give somebody a second chance, take it. And Norma's story is not just hers, it's everybody in our business. It's our customers, it's our employees who all participate in this story. So I want to thank CoWib and I want to thank Remerge, all of you here, for this opportunity that I had to help somebody, and for my employees to be able to see what happens when you do this. So thank you very much.